Attention passionate Philadelphia Eagles fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Philadelphia Eagles' path to another championship run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before we dive in, if you're a true Philadelphia Eagles fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and fellow Philadelphia Eagles fans. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, today we're diving deep into what could be a game-changing moment for the Philadelphia Eagles as they gear up for what promises to be yet another intense and highly competitive NFL season. The Eagles, as many of you already know, have been one of the most exciting teams in recent years, with a roster that's constantly evolving but always centered around a core of talented players, a smart coaching staff, and a relentless winning attitude. And yes, even after losing some key starters in free agency, the buzz around the Eagles remains just as strong, perhaps even stronger. The question that many fans are asking right now is, how will this team adapt? Will they be able to maintain their position among the NFC's elite? And most importantly, can they make another deep playoff run, maybe even go all the way to the Super Bowl once again? Well, the answer might depend on a few strategic moves that could define their season, especially in the secondary, which is an area that's generating quite a bit of discussion lately. Let us start by looking at the current state of the Eagles' cornerback room. It's an area where fans and analysts alike have raised eyebrows. You see, after losing some key pieces in free agency, the Eagles are now looking at a couple of options that aren't exactly proven stars just yet. Kelee Ringo, who showed flashes in his rookie season, is still very much a project. Sure, he played decently when called upon in 2024, but he only had a handful of starts, just 5 in total, and he still unproven at that second outside corner spot. The coaching staff, led by Nick Sirianni, is undoubtedly hoping that Ringo will develop into the player they envision, but at this stage, there's still some uncertainty. On the other side, we have Adoree Jackson, a veteran with a lot of experience, who signed with the Eagles last season. Jackson, who will turn 30 in September, brings a wealth of knowledge and a high-level football IQ, but with age comes questions about his durability and ability to keep up with the league's fastest receivers. That's why many are wondering whether these two will be the long-term answer, or if the Eagles might look outside the roster to add some firepower at cornerback. And folks, this is where things get interesting. There are whispers, rumors swirling around, suggesting that the Eagles are keeping a close eye on the trade market, especially at the cornerback position. According to reports from Anthony Di Bona of the Philly Special Show, there are two major targets that fans should be paying attention to if neither Ringo nor Jackson can secure their spots during training camp and the preseason. The first one is quite intriguing: Greg Newsome Roman II from the Cleveland Browns. Now, Newsome is a young, talented corner who was a first-round pick back in 2021. He is just 25 years old, and he has shown flashes of brilliance in Cleveland. The Browns, as many of you know, have a crowded secondary, and Newsome's role has fluctuated over the past couple of seasons. He has primarily played in the slot, but he is also capable of lining up on the outside, providing a lot of versatility, something the Eagles desperately need. Let us take a moment to really understand what Newsome brings to the table. Over his 3 seasons with Cleveland, he has accumulated over 400 snaps at outside corner and more than 1,000 at slot, according to Pro Football Focus. That kind of versatility is rare for players so young. Last season, however, his role diminished somewhat. He was eventually moved down to the third cornerback spot and ended the season on injured reserve with a hamstring injury. Now, here's the kicker. Newsome's rookie contract is set to expire after the 2025 season. The Browns exercised his 5th-year option, which means they see potential in him, but with Denzel Ward and Martin Emerson also under contract, Cleveland could be open to trading Newsome if the right offer comes along. And the Eagles, with their ample cap space and a clear desire to bolster their secondary, could be the perfect landing spot for a player like him. What makes Newsome particularly appealing is his ability to play multiple roles in the secondary. While Denzel Ward has been primarily used outside, Newsome's experience in the slot makes him a valuable chess piece for defensive coordinator Sean Desai. The Eagles, known for their creative defensive schemes, could really maximize his skill set. Plus, at just 25, he's entering the prime of his career, and the team's coaching staff would likely see him as a long-term building block. Now, it's important to mention that Cleveland might be hesitant to part with him after all. They invested heavily in their secondary in recent years, but if the right trade package comes along, Philadelphia could swoop in and make it happen. And with the Eagles' history of making shrewd trades, especially under GM Howie Roseman, it's definitely within the realm of possibility. In terms of cap implications, the Browns are set to pay Newsome around $13.3 million in 2025, which isn't an insignificant amount, but for a player of his caliber and potential, that could be a worthwhile investment for a team looking to make a Super Bowl push. And considering the Eagles' salary cap situation, they could absorb that number more easily than other teams, especially if they see him as a future cornerstone of their defense. The intrigue is that Newsome's style of play aligns well with what the Eagles want: aggressive, versatile, and capable of locking down receivers on the perimeter or in the slot. Plus, his experience and youth make him an attractive target for a team that's always looking to improve their roster strategically. Now, let us not forget the broader context of the Eagles' roster construction and their recent draft and free agent moves. The team's front office, led by Howie Roseman, has been aggressive yet calculated in building a roster that balances youth and experience. The draft picks, especially in the secondary, have shown promise, but the team also understands that the NFL is a league where depth and versatility are crucial. They've already made some smart moves to fill other key positions, like adding a reliable linebacker core and bolstering the offensive line. But cornerback remains a position where a game-changing addition could elevate the entire defense. And that's exactly why the rumors about a potential trade for Newsome are gaining traction. It's not just about replacing a player. It's about adding a dynamic, flexible piece to a defense that's already one of the most formidable in the league. The Eagles have a history of making strategic trades, whether it's acquiring a star or flipping a player for draft capital, and fans should be excited about the possibility that they could do it again. They've shown a willingness to take risks when the payoff is high, and a young, talented corner like Newsome fits that bill perfectly. But of course, it's not just about Newsome. There are other options on the horizon, and the team will be watching the preseason closely to see how their current players perform. The coaching staff will be assessing whether Ringo and Jackson can step up and provide the stability and talent needed on the outside. If they can, then maybe the Eagles will hold onto their assets and look elsewhere for other upgrades. But if not, fans should keep their eyes peeled for potential trades that could reshape the secondary just before the season kicks off. The NFL deadline for trades is always a buzzword for fans, and the Eagles, under Roseman's leadership, have shown time and again that they're not afraid to make bold moves to get their team over the top. Now, let us take a step back and analyze what this means for the Eagles' overall championship aspirations. The NFC is a tough conference. There's no doubt about that. Teams like the San Francisco 49ers, the Dallas Cowboys, and the Detroit Lions are all loaded with talent and are hungry for a deep playoff run. But the Eagles, with their star-studded roster, innovative coaching, and now potentially a more versatile secondary, are still one of the favorites. The key will be whether they can address their secondary needs before the season starts. Because if they can, they'll have a defense that's even more difficult to crack, especially in high-stakes playoff games. And remember, the Eagles' offense, led by Jalen Hurts, remains one of the most explosive in the league. Their rushing game is top-notch, and the receiving core has plenty of weapons, including A.J. Brown and Dallas Goedert. But a championship team isn't just about offense. A dominant defense can tilt the balance in crucial moments. So, if adding a versatile corner like Newsome can help lock down the league's top receivers, it could be the missing piece that elevates the Eagles to Super Bowl favorites once again. The excitement around this team is palpable, and fans are eager to see how the front office will maneuver in the coming weeks. So, as we look ahead, it's clear that the Eagles are not resting on their laurels. They're always looking for ways to improve, and that's what makes them a perennial contender. The secondary is a priority, and the rumors of a potential trade for Newsome or other talented corners could become reality soon. It's a fascinating time for Eagles fans, because every offseason move, every preseason game, and every trade rumor adds another layer to the story of this team's quest for glory. And with the NFL's unpredictable nature, anything can happen: a surprise trade, a breakout performance, or a strategic signing that could change everything. The Eagles are well positioned to make a run, and fans should stay tuned because this story is far from over. And now, Philadelphia Eagles fans, I want to hear from you. What is your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the team. Do you think Newsome would be a perfect fit? Or do you believe Ringo or Jackson can step up and solidify the secondary? Whatever your thoughts are, let us know. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, more insights, and more breaking news about your favorite team. So, stay tuned and keep that Eagles spirit alive. We're in for an exciting season, and I can wait to see how it all unfolds. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Eagles.